Yeah, good morning, students. This is your English online class. Let me deal with Rabhindranath Tagore's A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. Hope most of you know who is Rabhindranath Tagore and the time in which he lived. What are his major contributions to Indian aesthetic world, Indian literature, Indian freedom movement, our culture, our society, and many more things. As you all know, Rabindranath Tagore is a composer. He was a musician, he was a painter, he was a great laureate, and whatnot. He had his own contribution in freedom movement and many things. When you come to literature, he has written several books, out of which we have one here, one short story written by him, A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. Hope you know what is a paradise. You have your own concept. Maybe you are told by your grandmother, grandfather, or in your neighborhood, you have your own concept. What is paradise? What is heaven? It's believed in Indian society we have our own concept that after the death we go to heaven or we go to hell. On the basis of that, we keep on working here. Now, I mean, working here in the sense we think that if I do something good to others, I go to heaven. If I harm others, I will be troubled. I go to hell. This is what our concept behind hell and heaven is. Yes, such a thing. What's Rabindranath Tagore going to tell you about paradise, about garden? See here, one pre-reading activity here you come across. If you have a garden, you grow not only coconuts, vegetables, and fruits, but also roses. See, look at the way where he is connecting you. This pre-reading activity, where does it connect you? It's growing so many things, not only vegetables, not only fruits, but also a rose. Keep it in mind. Keep some fruits in your mind, keep some vegetables in your mind, and keep rose as well in your mind. Look at it. And as the story begins here, the man had never believed in mere utility. Here, the hero of the story, no, he was quite different. Having had no useful work, he indulged in mad whims. No, this person had no useful work. He would go on doing so many unwanted things. Unwanted in the sense, every day, whatever we do, so many out of that will be useful, some things will not be useful. You know, mad whim, all of a sudden getting into something unwanted. No, suddenly he made little pieces. Some boys will never read textbook, they'll never be careful, but they pass the examination. How do they pass? You can just imagine a boy who has gone to examination hall without any preparation and he passes out the examination. Just you can imagine in what way he has passed. A similar thing happened to this man. He spent his earth life in useless work, and yet after his death, the gates of heaven opened wide for him. Look at the example what is given here. How do some children pass the examination without preparation? So there is a concept in Indian society. We have a concept that the one who works good throughout his life, the one who works hard without harming anybody, without thinking of evil things, uh, that fellow will go to heaven. And here is the one who never did anything useful has gone to heaven. This is somewhat surprising. So that's why the title comes here, A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. for two reasons. One is that he never did anything useful. He went to heaven, and there, as he has done in his earth life, as he has done in the same manner he does. But the moving fingers writes even in heaven. So it came to pass that the aerial messenger who took charge of the man made a mistake and found him a place in workers' paradise. Moving fingers. Heaven has written something wrong here. The man, the aerial messenger, who was supposed to carry him to hell, carried him to heaven by mistake. As we have in the Indian society, we have this Lord Yama, the god of death, the one who brings a rope, noose, throws it around your neck and carries you to the right place. Whether you deserve the place in heaven, you will be taken to heaven. If you deserve the place in hell, you will be taken to hell. The same manner here, aerial messenger had come and took him to heaven by mistake. In this paradise, you find everything except leisure. So where this man is placed, there you will find everything, whatever you want, but not that leisure is never taken by anybody, never enjoyed by anybody. People keep on working, they never rest. That's what the condition of this workers' paradise is. Here men say, God, we haven't a moment to spare. Women whisper, let's move on, times are flying. All exclaim, time is precious. We have our hands full, we make use of every single minute. They sigh complainingly, and yet those words make them happy and exalted. This paragraph, it will tell you how the condition is in workers' paradise. All the inhabitants of workers' paradise, what do? They keep on working and working and working, and time is very valuable there. Time is very precious there. And most of the times, we know very well what we do. We get up at 9 o'clock. We never consider that sun has already rose, and we keep on postponing our work. No, let it be tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. We never be serious of anything. No, this for such lazy people, there is no place in workers' paradise, because everybody in the workers' paradise is so busy. They keep on thinking about time. Time will pass. Whatever time passes today will never come back. Today, half an hour earlier, whatever moment has gone, that has gone forever in your life. You will never get it back. But still, we will never be serious. Time is very valuable. Time is precious. So here, people keep on talking about the passing of the time. They have a lot of seriousness. They keep on working. But this newcomer, who had passed all his life on earth without doing a scrap of useful work, did not fit in with the scheme of things in workers' paradise. Now, what is the scheme of workers' paradise? Working style of the people is they keep on working. They never rest. They don't have any entertainment sources. They have nothing like that. Work, 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 work. Only that's the mantra there. And here, this man never did anything useful on earth, never found anything useful. So he has gone, and he was totally unfit to be there in the workers' paradise. The scheme, the difference between the people in workers' paradise and this man is that he never works and they never stop working. That's the difference. He longed in the streets absently and jostled the hurrying men. He was such a man, had nothing. It is said, empty mind is devil's workshop. The one who has no work to do, what he does, he would go on roaming on the street here and there, here and there, here and there. And all the men in workers' paradise, they were so busy, he would dash them on the road. He would come on their way. He lay down in the green meadows or close to the fast flowing streams and was taken to task by busy farmers. He was always in the way of others. So this man, there used to be a lot of hustle bustle every day. A lot of people go up and down on the road. So he would come on their way and uselessly standing here and there, looking at this lazy man doing nothing, and moreover troubling them, coming on their way, disturbing them. All the people would go on abusing, shouting at him. Further, a bustling girl went every day to silent Torrent. Silent, since in the workers' paradise, even a torrent would waste its energy singing to fill her pitchers. This girl, now one day, one girl went to torrent to bring, to fetch some water. You know, there is a concept that even the what is it? The torrent would also flow very silently. It even made no noise, as it even the torrent thought making noise is of no use. So that everything was silent, everything was calm and quiet, where the girl had gone to fetch water. And by the side of the torrent, this fellow, this lazy fellow who was dropped by the aerial messenger, was there. The girl's movement on the road was like the rapid movement of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. If you have seen a musician playing guitar, you could see how his fingers will move on the strings of the guitar, how fast they will move. So, with the rhythm, they move to produce certain music. No, likewise, this girl would walk fast. Her walking style is compared to the guitarist. Her hair was carelessly done, inquisitive wisps peeped often over her forehead to peer at the dark wonder of her eye. No, see, this girl always she would keep on moving fast, and she paid no attention to tie her hair because as most of the people, most of us spend a lot of time right in front of the mirror to get ready, to make up for so many things, decorating almost. This girl had never taken care of her hair, not so much, though she was beautiful to look. She never spent much of her time in arranging or combing her hair. Sometimes as she was walking, sometimes her hair on the forehead would come down, come, fall, and look at her, wonder of the eyes. The idler, this man, the idler was standing by the stream as a princess sees a lonely beggar and is filled with pity. So the busy girl of heaven saw this one and was filled with pity. Whenever a princess looks at the beggar, no, she feels so much for him, lot of pity, lot of sympathy, feels like helping him. Looking at this man, this lazy man, the girl felt the same thing. She looked at him with a great wonder, great surprise. Amazingly, she is looking at him. She really wanted to help the fellow who was standing with a sympathetic face. She cried with concern, "You have no work in hand, have you?" She asked him out of sympathy, out of pity. She asked him, the fellow has nothing to do. She asked him, "What are you doing? Why are you standing in this way? Don't you have any work to do?" And this man sighed, "Work? I have not a moment to spare for work." See, the difference between people in the workers' paradise and this lazy fellow is, so they don't have time. People in the workers' paradise have no time to spend, have no time to entertain themselves, have no time to rest. Whereas this man is so busy in passing his time doing something unwanted, he has no time to do any sort of work. That is the difference between the people in the workers' paradise and this lazy man. Schematic, the scheme of their work and this fellow's work. The girl did not understand his words and said, "I shall spare some work for you to do if you like." Finally, that girl did not understand what he was speaking because he said, I don't have time to spare for work. She did not understand. Because she is not known to the kind of culture in which he is brought up or he adopted in himself, inculcated in him. No, she did not understand what he was trying to tell her, but she asked him, if you don't mind, shall I give you some work? The man replied, Girl of the silent torrent, all this time I have been waiting to take some work from your hands. He would paint, he would sing, he would do so many other things. And this boy, looking at the girl, he said, Yes, yes, as usually it happens among the youngsters. No, he replied to the girl, Yes, I am eagerly waiting for you to give me some work. Very happily, he said. What kind of work would you like? She asked him. The girl asked him, What kind of work would you like? No, he had no intention of doing any work. Will you give me one of your pictures, one that you can spare? Now, what he is asking her is, he is asking the pitcher. Pitcher is a pot she brought to fetch water. He is asking one for him. She asked immediately when he asked that pitcher. So, usually, what we think, maybe even he may also take water, fetch water. The girl asked him, Would you like to fetch water? She asked, A pitcher? You want to draw water from the torrent? And what he replies, you see, No, I shall draw pictures on your picture. What he wanted to do? He wanted to draw. He wanted to make some pictures on the picture. Picture, pot. The difference between picture, Pitcher, pot, on which he wanted to draw. Hope you can just understand. So this kind of picture on which he wanted to draw something. Then, no, I shall draw your picture. The girl was annoyed. What he was saying, she did not understand. No, he told her that he wanted to draw some pictures on the picture. He wanted to paint something on it. She had no idea of that kind. She did not understand. She was totally annoyed. Pictures? Indeed, I have no time to waste on such as you. I'm going. And she walked away, not being able to understand what the girl said. She went away from the place because people in the workers' paradise, they never spent their time in anything useless, what they believed. But how could a busy person get the better of one who had nothing to do? Every day they met, and every day he said to her, Girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your clay pictures. I shall draw pictures on it. It happened on the second day also. Second day they met. A girl had come to fetch water from the silent torrent. On the way, they met each other. This lazy man and the girl met each other. The same sort of conversation has taken place. Do you want some work? And this lazy man told you, Give me your picture, I will paint on it, I'll draw some pictures on it. So every day it went on for 2, 3 days. When it was for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, one day she yielded, she agreed to what he said. She yielded at last. She gave him one of her pictures. The man started painting. This lazy man took the pictures wholeheartedly and he went on making so many pictures on it. He drew line after line. He put color after color. He went on drawing, making so many lines on it. Every box is filled with different colors, so many designs, so many varieties were all made on the pot. The pot which had nothing on it earlier on the surface, outer surface, which had nothing on it, now it is totally filled with so many colors. The man started painting. He drew line after line. He put color after color. When he had completed his work, the girl held up the picture and stared at its sides, her eyes puzzled. No, boxes, so many colors, so many varieties. And the girl took it. She went on looking and looking and looking and looking, but she was not able to understand anything. A brows drawn, she asked, getting. No, what do they mean? All those lines and colors, what is their purpose? She didn't understand anything. She took her two brows together, eyebrows together, looked at it, looked at, looked at, but she didn't understand anything. Finally, not being able to understand what the man had made, she asked him, what does it mean? What do this box, what is this color? What do they mean? She didn't understand anything. The man laughed. Simply, he kept on laughing. Nothing. A picture may have no meaning and serve no purpose. You just remember, when a thing what you do has no purpose and has no meaning, then what will be it is? What for it is? How do you use it? What for you use it? When it serves no purpose, why do you need that thing, you tell me? That was the question by the girl. The girl went away with her picture at home, away from prying eyes. She held it at the in the light, turned it round in the light, turned it round and scanned the painting from all angles. Not only there, immediately after taking the pot from the fellow, she looked at it. She asked him. He told her very clearly that a picture may have no purpose. Not only there, even after bringing it to home, night, only there, even after bringing it to home, night, keeping herself totally away from all other people, praying eyes. No, she kept away from everybody, went to her private place where she could sit alone and went on looking at it, scanned it properly, looked at it, looked at it, looked at it repeatedly, but she didn't get anything. She did not understand anything. At night, she moved out of bed, lighted a lamp. Again, she scanned it in silence. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all. There, here on earth, everything will have one purpose. That's a different thing. There, in the workers' paradise, where the scheme of work is totally different, there, in that place, this kind of thing, a pot which is colored, had no purpose, and she was looking at it for the first time in her life. When she set out for the torrent, the next feet were a little less hurried than before. Look at, she is bit disturbed by some external force, some external idea. So the culture in which she is brought up is a totally work culture, workaholic, work culture. Keep on working and working and working. And for the first time in her life, she is disturbed a little bit. Every day she would go so fast to fetch water. Today she is not able to walk as fast as she could earlier. She is bit slowly walking. Hurrying feet were a little less hurried than before. For a new sense seemed to have become thinking, different way of looking at life, different approach to life. There is a different new sense in her that's loving her to as fast as she could. It is holding her. A sense seemed to have no meaning and no purpose at all. She is asking herself, what am I? It has no meaning. Now, because successfully this idler, this lazy man, brought a new sense in her. She saw the painter standing by the torrent and asked in confusion. No, she went to the torrent, silent torrent, to fetch water. Again, next day, the man was standing, this lazy man was standing there. She looked at him. What do you want of me? Little bit, the girl is a bit annoyed, a bit disturbed. She asked him, what do you want? Only some work, only some more work from your hands. Earlier, she had given him one pot on which he kept on making so many pictures. That's over. And even now, he is asking some work from her hands. What kind of work would you like? Let me make a colored ribbon for your hair, he answered. Look at how differently he is thinking and how he is motivating her. Earlier, he took a pot and made pictures on that, and now he is asking. He wanted to make ribbon for her hair. And what for? Nothing. No, people in workers' paradise, as I already told you earlier, that they never spent time in tying their hair and all, in combing their hair and all. But the fellow is asking her he wanted to make a colored ribbon for her hair. Ribbons were made bright with colors. The busy girl of workers' paradise had now to spend a lot of time every day tying the colored ribbon around her hair. The minutes slipped by unutilized. Much work was left unfinished. Look at, the girl had spent so much of time in looking at, in watching the pot which was given by this man, lazy man, and now he had given her a colored ribbon to tie it around her hair, and she did it. And the girl who had never spent so much of time in decorating or in arranging her hair, in combing her hair, now had to spend so much of time in using ribbon and all. So whatever work was there to be completed, that was not done. Yes, that was not done. And slowly she started spending much of her time right in front of the mirror, and here a lot of work remained incompleted. Much work was left unfinished. In workers' paradise, work had off late begun to suffer. So people, in the workers' paradise, one by one, one by one, one by one, as her work was, lot of work was left behind, not being done. So the other work is affected, other is affected, other is affected. So totally, there was a change in the workers' paradise. Many persons who had been active before were now idle because this girl taught so many other people, so many other things. So everybody's work started lagging behind. Earlier, this sort of work was done by the people, and now they are doing, there is a lot of difference. Bringing something new in society is not that easy. Yes, anything new you are introducing, it cannot be done so immediately. So here, this and especially good things will not be so immediately introduced. But here, this is however being lazy, not that useful. People in the workers' paradise started suffering a lot because of this new idea, wasting their precious time on useless things such as painting and sculpture, which was never known to people in workers' paradise earlier. They started spending so much of time here in useless things. The elders became anxious. Look at the elders who were the people have contributed so much for the workers' paradise. They have built up their paradise in a systematic way, in a cultured manner, keeping themselves always busy. They did not, they could not digest the new thing what is happening in their paradise. So immediately they did not tolerate it. They never tolerated. All the elderly people in the workers' paradise have got together. They called a meeting. It is elders' responsibility as well. Whenever they see their youngsters going on the wrong way, it's the elders' responsibility that they have to guide the upcoming generation, and upcoming generations. Youngsters have to listen. Life is not that easy. You cannot always do what you wish. Your life should be a bridge between tradition and modernity. Only then you will be successful. You need elders' guidance, and you should also have the courage to move on your own. You learn something what is new, what is useful, whatever, upgrade yourself, and at the same time keep your hand on the tradition as well, older systems as well, because whatever you are able to do today is just a contribution of earlier society, your previous society. You have inherited everything from your earlier people. So that's how life goes on. So when all these elderly people in the workers' paradise learned that the change what has come is not at all good, there must be change, positive change that will help you to improve your society. You will go ahead, you reach the greater heights in your life. But the change what has come in workers' paradise is never good. All the elderly people have thought, have come to conclusion, and immediately called a meeting. All agreed that such a state of affairs had so far been unknown in the history of the workers' paradise. It has never happened. The kind of culture what is coming up in workers' paradise, that's totally new. So they have come to this conclusion, and it's going to trouble their workers' paradise. The aerial messenger hurried in, bowed before the elders, and made a confession. Immediately, at the same time, when all the elderly people in the workers' paradise have got together, they were thinking, they were about to come to a decision. Meanwhile, the aerial messenger, by mistake, who dropped this lazy man in the workers' paradise, had come, appeared before the elderly people of the workers' paradise, and he agreed his guilt. He confessed. He told them very clearly that what is happening is my responsibility because I brought this wrong man to your paradise. The man was summoned. Immediately, the man was summoned. The man was summoned. Who is the man here? The man is that lazy man. Who summoned? Who called him? All the elderly people in the workers' paradise called the fellow. Leave. See, look at how responsible are the elderly people in the workers' paradise. The moment they felt workers' paradise was going to be spoiled, harmed, damaged, when they felt that their society was going to be damaged, when they felt that their society was going to be at risk, they did not agree. This kind of responsible people, no doubt, definitely they would agree if the change was a positive change, if the change was going to benefit their workers' paradise, they would agree. But the kind of thing what this man is trying to spread there was never good, they all felt. It was against the rules of workers' paradise. Immediately, the elderly person, president of the workers' paradise, very clearly told that you please stop, you can quit. The man sighed in relief and gathered up his brush and paints, but as he was about to go, the silent torrent came up, tripping, and cried, "Wait a moment, I shall come with you." Now, he was ordered by the president of the society. the workers' paradise. Immediately he collected all his things and he was ready to quit. But the disturbed girl, who was so much attracted by this lazy man, that girl also got ready to go. The elders gasped in surprise. They wondered at it. They were all amazed, shocked to see the girl moving out of the workers' paradise with this fellow. Never before had a thing like this happened in workers' paradise, a thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. It was for the first time happened in workers' paradise. It's not only that man, maybe the mistake was made by aerial messenger, but happened in workers' paradise. It's not only that man, maybe the mistake was made by aerial messenger, but that has taken away a girl from the workers' paradise. She had gone with him. And remaining things of this particular chapter, Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, will be discussed. Maybe it's textual grammar or question answers or any other thing which you are not able to understand. If you pass me that on your WhatsApp group, I'll see. Then I'll come to that particular point and clarify all your doubts. Thank you so much.